I was recording. God, that's a nice action. Oop, went right. Sure enough. Ooh. Let's do one more just to confirm. Same hole. Woo. Put one in the head box. Oh! Bullseye. Alright, there we go. So that was my first shot. I accidentally went too far right instead of left. Brought it back in. I literally put two in that same hole, and then these two, and then we went for the head. Look at that. So the one that you see on here is part of the Trace Advanced series, all right? There is a mill and an MOA version. This is the mill version. This is the 4.5 to 27 by 50 millimeter RMG reticle. About 5 months ago, I went out to Gunsight Academy and we got to do a long range course. We got to do a bunch of reloading. Big thanks to Franklin Arsenal for bringing us out there. And they taught us how to reload. They taught us how to, build our custom loads for distance shooting. And we got to go out to 1,000 yards, and we were ringing an 8-inch steel plate at 1,000 yards. On that scope, I had a Crimson Trace, and the reticle, especially at distance when you're zoomed all the way in on a first focal plane, was just a little bit bigger than I wanted it to be. This one stays super tiny. This is a first focal plane scope, and when that reticle zooms in with your zoom, that center dot stays ultra, ultra fine. Now the rifle that you see here is a Bergara B14 Wilderness with the HMR stock chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor. I have a Bergara chambered in 6.5 PRC. This one was my father's, and if you've been watching the channel, you'll know that I guess about a year and a half ago, December of 2020, my father passed away, and I got this rifle. So he had a Vortex scope on here. It was decent. I didn't love the reticle on it. It didn't have this zoom power. And so I went ahead and swapped it out, and man, what a difference. This is a first focal plane scope, so as you crank on the zoom here, that reticle will get closer as you zoom in on your target, but that center dot is 0.045 mils. And so even at full 27 power, that dot stays super, super fine. And that was my only issue with the Crimson Trace one that we had when we went to Gunsight Academy a couple months ago. Especially at 1,000 yards, when that dot's too big, you're covering a lot of space on that target, right? So this one, ultra fine, especially out at distance. I'm only at 100 yards, but especially if you're back out at 1,000 yards, I think you'll have a much easier time putting those shots on target. Now these reticle adjustments are in 0.1 mils. You pull up and then you're able to dial it in, and you can hear the very tactile click. And lastly, they do have a zero stop on the turrets. And the parallax ring on this is actually quite tight. So it goes from 50 to 500, and then there's your infinity setting. But that ring is actually pretty dang tight. Here you can see the aluminum covers. They're not cheap plastic, all right? They are integrated into the focus ring here, but it is adjustable. So get the focus ring where you want it, and there's a tool. I'll roll in a little video of it here, but the tool interfaces, it loosens this inner ring here, and then you're able to adjust it to where you want it, tighten it back down. Now, several of you are probably saying, well, I've never even heard of ZeroTech. Well, they're very popular actually in Australia. The past couple of years, they've made their way into the US. And actually my buddy David, who you've seen on the channel from time to time from Dyer Armory, he introduced me to them. Very glad he did. This is a really, really nice scope. And I think the last thing we'll cover is the warranty. So the warranty is lifetime warranty. Any owner, any problem, doesn't matter, they will make it right. So that's pretty legit. So if you're out in the field, you drop this thing, you know, something goes wrong, you're covered. Now, this is one of about 25 or 30 different scopes and optics that they have on their site. They've been in the optics game for about 50 years. So I'm gonna post a link in the description below. If you do wanna buy one, it really just depends on your favorite place to shop. They're available all over the place. What I'll do is I'll post a few links in the description below, but the first link down there will be directly to their website so you can see the full lineup. That's it, guys. If you like this video, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down below. I appreciate your time watching as always. Lots more content to come, and I'll see you in the next one.